I've seen a show called Garry Starr Conquers Troy. On the Fringe website it's described as a comedy physical theatre. I would actually add two more descriptors to that: interactive and absurd. The structure of his show is based around the idea that ancient Greeks invented acting and invented theatre, and before that everyone was just pretending. And it follows the idea that Garry has written a book called An Actor Pretends. Each chapter of the book is doing like a different skill and then an actor should learn how to do, which is then followed by a sketch demonstrating how to do this, how to memorise your lines, how to get noticed by casting directors. He is a very physical comedian and he's got lots of props. Every prop, every word, every action is designed to make you laugh, and it does. Myself, the people in the same row as me, the people behind me, the people in front of me, were all laughing so much. There was at least 5 people that were cackling so hard that I swear they weren't breathing for a good while. I'm surprised no one passed out. His humour is very silly and very immature, but still adult at the same time. There is a bit that he mentions in his show. It is a 14+. And he has since added in nudity into one of his sketches, and the nudity is not listed on the website, so it is something to consider before you take your 14-year-old along to see Garry Starr. I'd also add to that, if you're very easily grossed out and are not up for interaction, this is not the show for you. With most performers in general, when you're watching their show, the audience is completely blacked out, so you can see them, but the performer can't see you. In Garry's show, the lights are never fully down until the very last sketch. The rest of the time the lights are half up. He can see you and he can interact with you a lot easier. Every sketch that he does is encouraging at least one member of the audience to get up and join him on stage and be involved in the sketch. If you're not up for being made fun of, or you're not an interactive person, you're not going to enjoy that at all. Don't sit in the front row unless you are willing to be exploited a little bit by Garry. The one sketch that he did, which was the second to last sketch, which grossed me out so much that I very nearly had to leave, involved members of the audience in the front row. I was in the second row and it made me feel a little bit scared that he was going to target me because I was clearly not okay. I did manage to kind of hide a little bit. In saying that, there were people behind me. There was someone from the very, very back row was the first person to get on that stage and get involved. Well done for you, mate. Being the first is not the easiest, and he came up again at the end. One of the sketches involved anyone who had interacted with him already was invited. I'm gonna give you this prop. It'll be obvious when you can use it. And that moment came and there was maybe up to 7 people that had already interacted with him, joining in with Garry for that like musical-esque bit. The last sketch I really enjoyed because it felt like, by that point, a real defined actor doing this beautiful monologue, and the audience are messing with him. Even like the lights are lowered and everything, which is really funny to see his reaction as well. Like obviously the reaction is scripted and I'm not going to spoil it for you, like go and see it. But yeah, that was my favourite bit. So I'm really glad I did stay to that last one because I would have missed that and I would have been a little bit upset. I'm going to give Garry 4 out of 5 stars, mostly because of that bit that I just wasn't okay with. And it's not obvious from the description of his show that it's going to get to that point. Is he very much pushes the boundary on how far can I go before someone tells me no. And he'd done this a few times and he did say, it's like, this is the first time that I've done a show that an audience member hasn't said no to me yet. Which is great from his point of view, but for me I was like, oh, but if you're alright with a little bit of gross, immature, adult silliness, Garry Starr's a good shout. The whole Conquers Troy bit of his title, there's a few references to it in some of the sketches. I'm not confident that I know the full history, so there's probably more in there that I missed. Well worth a see. If you found my review useful at all, please consider buying us a coffee on our Ko-fi page, which there should be a link somewhere in the description, and enjoy the Fringe.